Okay, so today's story is kind of a weird one, and I gotta say, this was totally by mistake. Well, kinda. But today's story does get insane, so before we get into it, make sure you guys press that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But not to mention, I'm also live on Kick streaming, telling crazy stories just like this one to you guys, except live. So it's also 10 times more embarrassing, and you guys get to ask questions along the story. But other than that, let's just jump straight into this super embarrassing story. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to a really embarrassing story time. So today's story all takes place back in my high school years, and this was my grade 10 year of high school. Now in grade 10, I had a really close friend of mine that I grew up with, and one of the things I kept forgetting was about how he had a sister, but honestly, it just never crossed my mind throughout middle school. But then high school came around, and I remember one time in high school, I was walking with my friend through the cafeteria at our lunchtime, and we were just talking about how much school's gone, well, worse over the years, and how school is just never gonna end, even though I'm now 22 and it's over. But still, we just talked about how much we hated school. It was the one passion we had. And I remember one time when we were sitting down, my friend was inviting me to a sleepover that he was gonna have with just some buddies, and I told him I was down for it and stuff. But then afterwards, out of nowhere, I remembered there was a girl that walked by the cafeteria with her group of friends. I remember I was staring at one of the girls, and she looked honestly amazing. She was like blonde, she was hot, and to be honest, I did not recognize her. And then out of nowhere, I remember my buddy turns his head to look at the girls as well, because we both like girls, because, well, we're guys, like why wouldn't we like girls? And then he told me, bro, that chick's kind of hot. Yeah, the blonde one, I know, dude. I think she was looking at me. I remember my friend instantly turns his head and he's like, wait, bro, what? The blonde one? Dude, that's my sister. I remember I started laughing. I'm like, yeah, right. And then afterwards, one thing led to another. I actually started realizing that it was actually a sister that was in grade 9. If you guys don't know, our school system's a lot more different than other places around the world, because we have elementary school, then we have middle school, and then we have high school. And well, apparently his sister just ended up coming into high school, and it was her grade 9 year. Now, obviously at this time I was in grade 10, so I didn't think anything weird. I was like, oh, okay, my bad. I didn't know it was your sister, bro. Like, I just thought she was hot. And well, my friend kind of found it bizarre, but at the same time, since he already invited me to the sleepover, it was like, you know what, whatever. He knows I wasn't gonna try anything, even though I'm literally known for doing the devil's tango throughout high school. But he kind of just put his trust in me, and well, I wasn't gonna lose that until, well, the sleepover came around. I remember the next day of school, it was a Thursday, and I remember going into school. I didn't really talk to my buddy after that really awkward interaction, and to be honest, I was more just excited to be going to a sleepover this weekend other than staying home doing absolutely nothing with my parents. When I was walking down the hallway to my locker, out of nowhere, this blonde girl that was his sister ends up bumping into me. She bumps into me and says, oh, sorry, my bad, Bubba, I didn't see you there. Oh, it's all good, I understand. And I went down to go pick up her books for her, and when me and her were on the ground picking up the books, I remember me and her, we ended up locking eyes out of nowhere. We locked eyes, and I'm like, oh, here. Oh, it's all good. Also, are you going to my brother's sleepover this weekend? Yeah, the one tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to it. Why, what's up? Oh, nothing. It's just kind of cool. I haven't seen you in a long time, since middle school. Anyways, I gotta get going. And then she ends up running to her group of friends, and they all start giggling out of nowhere. At that point, I wasn't really sure what was going on, but obviously something weird was going on. I kind of just ended up trying to put this in the back of my head, thinking, you know what? It's a no-no. Don't go for her. Don't ask for her Snapchat. Nothing. Just be cool and play it cool. And that's what I did. And now this is where the story gets really weird, because I remember the next day happened, and it was the day of the sleepover. All my friends were excited. We were all talking about it over the Xbox party before we ended up heading to his house. And when we got to his house, I remember when I knocked on the door, I expected my friend to open the door, but it ended up being his sister. His sister ends up opening the door and saying, oh, hey, Bubba, I forgot you were coming. Yeah, no, it's cool. Where's everybody? Oh, all the guys are upstairs. Oh, okay, cool. I'm just gonna head up there and say hi to everyone. I ended up going upstairs and stuff, and all the guys were upstairs basically getting ready to set their place at the sleepover, because the first thing we do as guys when we go to a sleepover is make sure that we're not sleeping right against each other, because we're not gay, we're not sus, and we're normal guys that don't want to sleep next to each other. And basically once we got the sleeping situation sorted out, we all ended up going downstairs and playing video games again. We were just playing video games. I know, no surprise, we could have done that when we were home online, but I don't know, it's a different feel when you're actually playing in the same house, or at least it did back then. Nowadays it's just purely boring. Going on from there, I remember all my friends were sitting down on the couch playing Call of Duty, and we were all playing this, you know, quick scoping, trick shotting, and basically doing the main Call of Duty things that we used to do all the time back then, before Call of Duty was absolutely ruined and destroyed by, well, game developers. But going on, I remember when we were sitting down on the couch, it got really boring because my buddy only had 2 controllers, and I remember I didn't really know what else to do, so I decided to just go to the bathroom real quick and sit down and watch a game theory video because MatPat dropped a new one. And speaking about game theory, I just want to mention that recently I heard about what happened to MatPat and, you know, how he's leaving the channel. And I just want to say, bro, thank you so much for changing my life, because your videos I still watch to this day ever since I was a kid. So thank you so much, bro. I literally grew up watching you and you changed my life. But going back to the story, I remember as I was sitting down the toilet watching a game theory video, out of nowhere I ended up hearing a knock on the door. I ended up saying occupied. Right as, like, I guess the person heard my voice, they ended up coming into the bathroom because I forgot to lock the bathroom door for some reason. And out of nowhere, it was his sister that walked in. I looked at her and I said, what are you doing? Like, I'm literally on the toilet. It's all good. This is the only time we get privacy. Where are you sleeping tonight? I'm sleeping in the hallway. Why? What's up? Oh, well, like, is anyone gonna be near you? No, because I'm not gay. As she was literally watching me sit on the toilet watching a game theory video. And then afterwards, she ended up telling me something really insane where she said, okay, well, like, come into my room after. After what? After when everyone's sleeping, duh. And then she ends up leaving the room, and out of nowhere, I remember 5 minutes later, I ended up getting out of the bathroom and thinking, what in the world is going on? Because at this point, I was really just weirded out. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do. And to be honest, things were just not going my way. I remember it became really late at night, and it was around, like, I want to say, like, I don't know, 10:30 at night, and all the guys were getting ready, laying down and just basically going on their phones until everyone eventually passed out at 12. And when 12 came around, I remember I got up and I ended up basically going towards his sister's bedroom. When I went in there, I remember she was wide awake, just on her laptop, just chilling and just, I don't know, going through YouTube watching Trisha Paytas, because I don't know, I guess she was a Trisha Paytas fan. And out of nowhere, I remember I looked at her and said, yo, like, what do you need? Like, I'm about to go to bed. Oh, come here, you can sleep beside me. I don't think that's a good idea. No, it's chill, don't worry, my brother's asleep and you'll wake up early and you'll just go back to your sleeping spot. I mean, sure, I guess I can't deny a bed. When I went and laid down, one thing led to another. We ended up watching a movie together, and well, me thinking this was gonna go nowhere, well, I guess my instincts got the best of me, because one thing led to another. She ended up leaning into me and we ended up making out, and well, that ended up leading towards doing the devil's tango. Obviously, me and her were making a decent amount of noise, and out of nowhere, I remember one of my buddies ended up waking up and actually hearing through the door that something was going on. And at that moment, this buddy of mine decided to go up to my homie that was hosting the sleepover, and he literally said to him, yo, bro, I think someone's like at your house with your sister, bro. Like, did your sister invite someone over? At this moment, my buddy instantly knew what was going on and decided to barge into the room as my eggplant was like inside her. And well, yeah, I'm gonna say this, bro, walking in to your sister doing the devil's tango with one of your homies is never a good thing. At that moment, the parents woke up, everyone decided to wake up, and well, I ended up getting kicked out of the house, which is no surprise. I would have done the same thing as well. And I ended up having to walk home super late at night at like literally, I want to say like 2:30 at night. And yeah, when I got home that night, my parents were really upset that I was alone at night, but they didn't really know why I was alone at night that night. And yeah, let's just say I got in serious trouble later on, but hey, what can I say? His sister wanted it. Anyways, guys, that is basically it for today's embarrassing story. Make sure you guys press that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. And like I always say, just follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.